Irish guy, and Messi has done it. He's actually won the World Cup. I mean, how surreal is that? And how weird is it that Brighton and Hove Albion have a World Cup winner in their squad? I mean, that's a stat which almost makes me feel ill. I mean, it's been like being told that the local post office used to employ someone who was president. I mean, it doesn't make sense, but what a final. I'm sorry, but who saw this being a 3-3 match? And Angel Di Maria, his cry after scoring a goal in the first half of that match. Yeah, those premature tears were literally inches away from being immortalized into a Twitter meme. I mean, imagine crying with joy and then still losing the match. I mean, imagine the French lads having to man mark him when his shirt is wet with tears. He's got puffy eyes and snot pouring down his chin as if he's just been dumped at the high school dance. Honestly, he looked like if you robbed Dobby of his sock. But this was billed as Mbappe versus Messi, and when that happens, when those two faces are stuffed on the poster for the match, it never turns out that way. I mean, price of pitting two world superstars against each other. No, they both usually get marked out of the game. I'm sorry, but this was like how comic book nerds would have been so excited to watch Batman versus Superman, but halfway through the film, and they're probably so disappointed, they're actively trying to distract themselves by doing algebra questions in their heads, or trying to imagine Susan Boyle in the nude. Oh here, I'm sorry, but Kylian Mbappe. This man deserves everyone's respect. I never again want to hear the words Mbappe and Farmers League in the same sentence ever again. Everyone was praising Bukayo Saka for his mental resilience after his Euro 2020 final miss, and yeah, sure. But Mbappe, he literally missed a crucial penalty against Switzerland at last summer's tournament. He was essentially bullied by the press to the point where he was contemplating retirement. But lads, here, not only did he score a World Cup final hat-trick, but lads, he scored 3 pressure penalties in the sport's biggest game on earth. And right now, considering he's football's villain, booed in Paris at the Ballon d'Or Awards, and with the Switzerland miss fresh in his head, he honestly could have wilted like a potato waffle on Jonah Hill's plate, but he didn't. He kept his nerve and scored 3 penalties. Oh yeah, and an incredible volley to level the game in normal time. I mean, everyone right now is waxing lyrical about Messi. And I mean, obviously, but don't forget, I mean, this was the tournament of Mbappe's life. I mean, this guy just won the World Cup Golden Boot by scoring 8 times in 7 games. I mean, nobody has scored more than 8 in a single World Cup since Gerd Muller over 50 years ago. And lads, I'm sorry, but I want to take some credit of this beefcake pie, because at the start of the tournament, I said Mbappe would flop. I said he wouldn't score more than 3 goals. And instead, he just scored 3 in the final. I mean, what? I'll get a quick interruption to let you know that this video is sponsored by Manscaped. Now listen, I mean, it's very nearly Christmas, right? And right now, Santa Claus is probably shaving his crotch. I mean, if not, then his wife will probably just force him to spend Boxing Day just exposing himself to the elves in his shed. But lads, you should also care. Shave your pubic hair. Lads, the Manscaped Performance Package 4.0 has you covered. Inside this package, you'll find the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver Ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, Performance Boxer briefs. I mean, the Lawnmower 4.0 features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to help reduce grooming accidents. I mean, it's got a 7,000 RPM motor, a new multifunction on and off switch, can engage in travel lock, and gives you the ability to turn the 4000K LED spotlight on and off. And again, waterproof. Please don't do something weird by shaving your armpits in the sea. You'll upset the fish. Anyway, Manscaped are giving everyone who watches this channel a huge 20% off plus free shipping when you use the code irishguy20 at checkout. So, link in the description. Go now! Anyway, back into the video. I mean, lads, he has already scored as many World Cup goals as Pele. Lads, he's 23. He's already joined 6th in the all-time World Cup top scorers list. And lads, I mean, 6 years ago, most of you didn't even know who he was. And lads, it felt like it took Miroslav Klose all the lives of a cat to become the all-time World Cup top scorer. But Mbappe, he's going to achieve that next time out when he's 27. I mean, Mbappe turns 24 tomorrow.
Oh, happy birthday, Kylian!
Yeah, I'm guessing it's going to be the worst birthday of his life. I mean, you really think he's going to want to celebrate after having his heart crack like an Easter egg? Now, again, it's probably just 4 hours of Bridget Jones and ice cream. I mean, just think when he has to sit next to Messi in the PSG canteen next week. I mean, it's a bit like running into your ex-wife on holiday. I mean, how are you supposed to relax by the swimming pool when you've got an overwhelming urge to smear sun cream in your eye? But Mbappe, he's already scored twice as many World Cup goals as Thierry Henry. I mean, he's the next person to be the all-time record World Cup top scorer. He just is. There's no stopping him. I'm sorry, but right now, closer, cherish the next 3.5 years of your life. I mean, go to as many cocktail parties as you can. Tell everyone within living earshot that you're the current record holder, because soon, once Mbappe takes your crown, yeah, I mean, your go-to line on Tinder is no longer gonna work. Because, I mean, when they Wikipedia your name, they'll see you're the fraud. I mean, considering Klose's club career was about as impressive as an oily armpit, yeah, soon you're probably just gonna be some forgotten footnote who'll have to beg strangers for a hug. Mbappe is a true international football superstar. I mean, 12 goals in 14 World Cup matches. That is beyond belief. But I have to talk about someone else who played in this match. Emiliano Martinez is a freak. I'm sorry, but this is a fairy tale story. I mean, you might as well call him Cinderella in a pair of football boots. What has happened to this man's career? This is the glow up of his life. I mean, this man has spent 10 years of his life rotting away in the dungeons at Arsenal Football Club, and guess what? He's only got 15 Premier League appearances to show for it. 15 in 10 years. I mean, Arsenal are a team who spent about 20 years moaning about how hard it is to buy a top quality goalkeeper. No. I'm sorry, Arsenal fans, but you don't get to screech and whine like a pregnant panda bear, because this is a club who've overlooked Lucas Fabianski, a guy who's now made more Premier League appearances than Roy Keane. They've overlooked Wojciech Szczesny, who is Buffon's literal heir at Juventus. Oh yeah, Enemy Martinez, a guy who's now won the World Cup. When it comes to goalkeepers, I mean, Arsenal are a bit like that spoiled wife who collapsed in their bedroom saying,
"Oh, I've got nothing to wear."
I mean, when they've got a cupboard filled with shoes. Honestly, if any Arsenal fan ever laments their bad local goalkeepers, no, I don't feel sorry for them. I mean, it'd be the equivalent of walking past Justin Bieber begging for food on a public street. I'm sorry, what? The kid's probably got a private Burger King in his house. It's embarrassing what Arsenal have done to Martinez. This is a goalkeeper with an elite mentality. I mean, this is a man actually making penalty saves in a World Cup final before doing a jig in front of the crowd. I mean, this is a former Oxford goalkeeper. I mean, this is a guy who danced in front of the Stretford end when Bruno Fernandes balled the last minute penalty against Aston Villa. This is a guy with a personality, a presence. Football's answer to Conor McGregor, minus the punching old people in pubs. And to think that Arsenal absolutely and utterly wasted this guy's 20s, just dumping him out on loan to Oxford United, Sheffield Wednesday, Rotherham. Lads, he was on loan at Reading aged 27. Honestly, this fella must just feel like a middle-aged nerd who realizes he spent his entire 20s just collecting fossils and kissing his pillow. I mean, the guy wasted his youth. I mean, in 2019, this is a guy standing between the posts, literally playing behind a Reading defense consisting of John O'Shea, Tyler Blackett, and Paul McShane. Lads, a World Cup winner will have McShane's number in his phone. What? Even when he was on loan at Getafe in Spain, he just spent a season sitting on the bench in La Liga while secretly wishing that Vicente Guaita just gets diarrhea on the bus. Honestly, the guy was probably so frustrated that his career was going nowhere that I wouldn't have blamed the fella for sneaking laxatives into Guaita's drink. I'm sorry, but the footballing world is absolutely trod all over Martinez's dignity, and I think it's a joke. Lads, while Martinez was on loan in the Championship with Wolves, he was again just told to spend 6 months rotting on the bench. I'm sorry, this is a guy who would grow up to win Messi the World Cup, and here he was, probably just living in some stale Birmingham flat that most likely stunk of undercooked banana bread, living on a street infested with rats and single mums, and he couldn't even get games in English football's second tier. He must have felt like a family failure to everyone back in Argentina. I don't want to get dark here, but I'm sure relatives probably died waiting for him to get a game. He was probably spending every night crying to his mum on Skype before, spending the evening stuffing his face with Ben and Jerry's whilst watching a Kate Winslet film. I mean, lads, while at Molyneux, he was literally stuffed in a dressing room with Mike Williamson, Jed Wallace, and Grant Holt. The latter probably just sat in the corner of the dressing room eating popcorn out of his shoe. I lads, forget the far-fetched dreams of one day winning a World Cup. No. Back then, he'd probably given his left foot to get a selfie with Messi. I mean, he was probably willing to fork out big to go to a meet and greet. Lads, do you realize how long Martinez has been around and yet we just never noticed? If I tell you to remember that insane game 10 years ago where Arsenal beat Reading by 7 goals to 5, I imagine telling anyone when the Gunners were 4-0 down at half time that pudding pie goalkeeper would one day lift the World Cup. I mean, lads, here's what the internet said about him that night.
Awful goalkeeping by Martinez for Arsenal. That Martinez looks awfully goal for Arsenal. Jesus, ha ha ha. This Damien Martinez is absolutely poor. Damien Martinez is awful, lol. I loved him when he played for seriously, Damien Martinez has no future at Arsenal. So poor. Wowzer, 3-0 Reading. Mikel Lickert would with it. Awful goalkeeping from Damien Martinez though. Damien Martinez in goal on Wednesday is not going to be good. Damien Martinez is a very bad keeper.
Yeah, back in 2012, he was called Damien. I'm not sure why he changed this. Maybe he realised that, Damien, it's actually quite a dull name. I mean, like Frank or Ian. Just something you'd associate with someone who sells stamps at the post office and then eat banana skins off a public toilet seat. But listen, I know it's strange behaviour to drag up 10-year-old tweets, but shout out to Gunnar Cal, who never lost faith.
Despite our generosity in allowing Reading to score 5, still hope that Damien Martinez will do well.
Yeah, Cal, I think he's done okay. I mean, let's see what present-day Cal thinks of the World Cup final then. Does he remember his Martinez prophecy? Is he rejoicing in his kitchen, drinking a glass of sherry out of the sink? I mean, does Cal remember Damien? And after watching the France match, does he have any world-class insights into what's become of his former goalie?
Take off the robe, man.
Oh, right. I mean, to be fair, he does have a point. What is Messi wearing? It looks like a Christmas present you might get off Dumbledore. Lads, Emiliano Martinez is a World Cup winner. And he's played football under Chris Wilder, back when Chris Wilder was poor. Throughout his 20s, football just treated this guy as if he was a piece of poo on a birthday cake. Yeah, I mean, nobody really wants to reach for the slice. I've still got Nana Margaret's toilet paper hanging off the sides, but I still think it's a joke. How many Premier League clubs ever try to take this guy off Arsenal's books? Nobody has ever spotted the talent or treated this guy with an ounce of respect. I mean, clearly the man's got the patience of a nun to spend a full 10 years at Arsenal, and then when he finally does break into the team and win the FA Cup, they then sell him to Aston Villa and choose to buy the Sheffield United #1. Listen, I will admit that the sale of Martinez doesn't look so glaringly bad right now because Aaron Ramsdale has done well. But lads, Ramsdale is a good goalkeeper and he is the class clown. But Martinez is a born winner. I mean, lads, since lockdown alone, he's won the FA Cup, the Community Shield, the Copa America, the UEFA Cup of Champions, the World Cup, oh yeah, and 2 Golden Gloves. Ramsdale, by contrast, has won, what? An egg and spoon race at school? A cardboard trophy for having the happiest smile? Sure, Ramsdale is a goofy little joker in the dressing room, but I'm sorry, is he truly a more elite goalie than Martinez? And considering he was at Arsenal so long that he's even got a weird London twang, honestly, he sounds like if you stuck Antonio Banderas into the cast of Snatch. Lads, Martinez is an adopted gooner. Wouldn't it be more satisfying for the club to have that guy as their #1 instead of, Ben Foster's mate, who's just a sad West Brom fan? I honestly believe that Martinez needs to make up for lost time. I would not be surprised in the slightest to see him quit Aston Villa next month. I mean, as we all know, this guy's 20s were wasted. So, I mean, this is like someone who went to jail at 19 for burning down their grandma's house. Yeah, when they finally get out of prison at 30, they're probably not going to spend every night sitting inside reading books. So similarly, I think Martinez has a monster move in him. Why not Bayern Munich? I mean, Manuel Neuer is nearly as old as my nan, and he's also broken his leg while skiing in the hills, so the stars are aligned. Why not replace one World Cup winning goalkeeper with another one? Honestly, right now, we all need to apologize to Martinez because football has just wasted his time.